And our in-depth coverage of campaign 2016 continues live in studio. Our Eyewitness News political analyst, Joe Fleming. And Joe, we had a very different discussion yesterday than we're about to have right now. I think it's safe to say that almost no one saw this coming. Democrats certainly didn't. Even some Republicans who voted for Trump didn't see this happening.
Most of the pundits did not see it coming. We even said yesterday morning on this show that it was a narrow path for Donald Trump. That's why we have election. The voters have the final say. And everybody says the poll on election day is the one that counts. That was proven yesterday. All the polls had Hillary Clinton ahead by 3 to 4 points. Only 1 or 2 had Donald Trump right up there. So it was a big surprise yesterday.
All right, so for people just waking up and joining us, and they maybe didn't get to see the play-by-play, state-by-state account of how it happened, how he was able to achieve victory, tell our viewers how Donald Trump managed to pull this off.
Well, there was a number of swing states. North Carolina, Florida, he won those states, which was key. The big thing was, we said all along, he had to break through the blue wall and win a blue state. He did more than that. He won Pennsylvania. He looks like he's going to win Michigan. He won Wisconsin. Those were her firewall. The firewall obviously was paper thin. He went right through those and won those in the Rust Belt, and that gave him the presidency. Well,
let's talk a little bit about those battleground states and then the states that flipped. What exactly happened? There was a lot of talk last night about basically the 2 words of Trump overperforming, Hillary Clinton underperforming in areas that they didn't expect.
Well, for example, if you look at Pennsylvania, she won the city of Philadelphia by about 450,000 votes. She won where she was supposed to do there. But in the rural areas, his numbers were astronomical. He won those areas so big, he overperformed there. She did what she was supposed to do, but he did a lot better. Also, keep in mind, he had no ground game. She had a great ground game. People thought that was going to do it for her. It proved it did not. It was not a ground game. It was Donald Trump.
Right, Donald Trump was really the one that had the get out the vote effort.
And from the beginning, Donald Trump said, I'm going to run this campaign my way. And people looked at him and said, oh, that's never going to work. Well, Donald Trump proved all the pundits wrong. He did it his way, and he won.
And he proved the media wrong. We have to talk a little bit about that, because there's a lot of headlines this morning talking about different quotes from last night. One analyst called it, when the media let out its primal scream, because we got it wrong. Maybe not local media, but the 24-hour news networks got it wrong.
Well, the 24-hour news networks were looking at the polling data. All the polling data was showing Hillary Clinton. All the swing states showed Hillary Clinton with a slight lead. They all were feeling that Hillary Clinton was in a stronger position. Donald Trump, throughout this whole campaign, the 18 months, kept making statements that any other candidate would get knocked out of the race on, like when he criticized John McCain. Those things did not affect Donald Trump. People want to change, and people are looking for change. Now Donald Trump has to really produce the change as president. All
right, let's talk a little bit about Donald Trump and the speech that he gave very, very early this morning. Clearly exhausted, clearly tired after, a long, long day. But what about his message of unity that he started to deliver last night?
Well, I think that's what he has to do. I mean, the Republicans still control the Senate. They still control the House, so he has Republicans on both sides. What he has to do now is get some of the Democrats to come together. Keep in mind, Donald Trump's not a politician. He's a businessman. He negotiates things. He may try to work things out with the Democrats, a little give and take, to try to get the country moving forward again.
All right, so Hillary Clinton conceded with a phone call to Donald Trump, but she had Podesta go out and address her supporters. She physically did not appear before her supporters, although we're hearing that may happen today.
I would assume she'll be out there today to concede the election publicly. I don't think she's just not going to come out. She'll get out. She'll give Donald Trump her support and pledge to do what she can to help the country in the future.
Absolutely fascinating.
It absolutely was.
And we have much more to talk about. We'll be joining Joe later on in the show with more analysis. Now we'll send it back to Pat.